of it all, untouchable, a new animal. This is how legends are made. This is how legends are made. This is how legends are made.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another week of LSH Live. I am Jeremy LaRose. This is LSH Live, and we are working with our little project horse here. You guys have been following along. We've covered this whole colt breaking series. Today we're going to try to do some circles and some straight lines. So this will be one of the first times we actually go like long straights and things that we watch for, things we try to keep in mind. What we want to focus on with this horse is how it takes a lot of hip control in order to go straight and go straight well. One of the things that you're going to notice on this horse when we go do our circles, he's going to spin out with his hip. So hopefully he'll do that today. We'll be able to show you a little bit of what our hip moves look like and how we go about fixing those things, how we go about addressing his hips and making sure that he gives his hips where we need him to, right? So if he's not giving his hips up, then we're going to run into a lot of problems with the way that we're making our circles. He's gonna be shearing his hip out to the outside. It's gonna make him tight behind, especially back on this leg right here. It's not gonna stride up underneath my stirrup where it needs to. And it ends up being a lot of problems. So we gotta have a horse that will step up underneath of us and get round and get where we need to. So we'll just start off kind of naughty, that's all right. So right away, that little bit of silliness right there. So he's gonna get used to spurs. And getting your horse used to spurs is one of those things, you're just gonna have to get through it. You're gonna have to realize he's gotta move when that pressure comes on, when that spur comes in. He can't just duck up and hide. So right away, I don't want him to go slow. And this is one of the problems that people run into a lot when they start their young horses is they're like, oh, look how slow he wants to go. Well, the problem is it's not that he wants to go slow, it's that he doesn't want to drive into his face. So you see how I have a lot more control in my face now. We're breaking down in his face. He's respecting that bit. He's staying up off of it. That's a big improvement from the last time you saw him. But now I need the ability to send him forward off my feet. So he's going to get a little sully off my spurs, and we're going to have to work through that in order to go forward so that he keeps the momentum going. One of our big phrases that we use a lot is that forward will create correctness. So I need to be able to send this horse out and go forward. Like right here, we'll go straight, send him out and go forward in order to create correct legs. So if I let him slow down right now, when he has no idea about making shape, then I'm gonna be in trouble when we go to do other stuff. When we go to make this harder and we go to put him in a good shape, we're gonna be having a big problem going slow right now. Not looking for this horse to go slow right here. So I want this to be kind of a working pace. I'm gonna be driving up, like right there, he wants to slow down. He's thinking about turning around. He kind of saw the barn back there, saw a way out. So he's like, oh man, up here in this corner is a lot of work. Down here, I can get and kind of leave the arena. So that we're always gonna be fast on this end right here. If he speeds up too much, I'll just take him to the side. I'll move these shoulders around and say, hey, let's get up. It's like right here, he gets a little naughty, gotta step up. So I'll just take him right back down here. I don't have the tools to fix that yet. You see him cutting in on me right here. A little forward back with my foot, fix that, get him shaped back up. So this is kind of the standard process. This is a horse that doesn't really like spurs on his belly, doesn't really like spurs controlling where his body's going. So we've got good lanes out of our hands on this horse, but we have absolutely no lanes on our feet. And that's what we talk about in the last video, having a horse that stays between our hands and our feet a lot. So I need a horse that will stay right here between my hands and my feet. Right now, he'll stay between my hands, but if I put my spurs on, he's never gonna give me his body. So it's gonna be the beginning process of give me your body off my feet. So just kind of get him comfortable with the idea of doing this straight line, kind of trying to feel out where my problem area is going to be. So every time I cross over right there, he wants to cut in on the inside. That's one of the big issues of riding indoors here in Michigan that we run into is a horse that gets kind of close to the end of the arena and wants to cut in. I need a horse that'll stay driving all the way to the end of the arena. So I want to make sure that I'm in control all the way down through here. I'm steering, he's staying straight. Now I'll turn. Okay, and a lot of people will just let their horse dive that corner and fall through that. I need a horse that'll stay right here. So here he's staying straight. There he tries to cut in, tries to cut in, tries to cut in, There, now he's straight. So it's just a little bit of outside leg pressure, holding him straight all the way around. I'll cut this in half, come around back to my circle. Reverse directions here, and now I'll go straight again. I want to know where my problem area is going to be here at my jog before I go to lope. So it doesn't make sense to me to lope this horse off and just kind of guess at where he's going to have problems in the arena. I figure it's going to be right there. It's going to be up here again, going straight. Up here again, when I go to cross into this little area up here, this is where I do most of my lunging. So he's like, no, I don't want to be up there either. And it's just kind of trying to stay ahead of my horse. They learn to duck and dive their shoulders around when you ride them in these smaller arenas. I need a horse that'll let me stay on my straightaways wherever I want to go on this horse. I can just point him and shoot. So that's a much better straight line. There he's staying between my feet, really nice. Staying between my calves. It doesn't necessarily need to be my spurs, but my calves are right there close to him. So I like how he made that corner. And now look, I can be a little bit more manageable. So if he'll stay between my feet, then I can go to shuffling my hands and controlling where his neck is. Okay, so I can go to setting his neck because now I can steer with my legs, my eyes, and my seat. If my hands are busy steering, they can't drop his neck. So you gotta keep that in mind. We're trying to split these horses up. So if my legs are busy steering him around, I can't steer him off my feet. So I can't drop his neck. I can only give him one command at a time out of my hands and my feet. So my command needs to be steer right there, stay straight. I applied that calf on him. He didn't respond to it. It's this little forward back kick to go straight. And then see how if I'm traveling straight, I just leave him alone. I'll just ride with my legs quiet. One of the big things. So here, active leg, now quiet legs. Okay, it's really easy to get in the habit of just kicking your horse all the time. You're gonna make him sully, you're gonna make him not wanna go forward, you're gonna make him not understand. So right here, he wants to cut in. I'll just kick back and forth, little kick in the shoulder. By turning my foot sideways, it's a move that we use a lot to stand that shoulder up on these young ones that don't really know any better. So what that looks like is I'll just turn my foot out sideways like this, turn it straight, reach up, boot in right there. Okay, little bump, kind of using the flat part of my foot, being real loose up here. I want my horse to ride loose, so I'm gonna be loose myself. When it comes time to tighten these horses back up, we'll ride tighter, but for now, just real free, real loose. There. And the second he moves off of that, the second he straightens his body back out, I'm gonna leave him alone. Okay? So coming through here, ooh. We'll stop, we'll back up. Again, I'm not really worried about his head and neck yet. Just need him to give me his shoulders. When I apply pressure right there, give me your shoulders. We'll turn him around. A little bit of pressure. Just brushing that foot on his side, make him turn around. We'll go up to our jog. So up into this, take up our lope. Oop, missed our lead. Pick up my inside rein to get my lope. Coming through here. Now, what I'm gonna do, right there, you see that fade out of my circle? When I have a horse that fades out of my circle, what he's really doing is he's pressing against my outside foot. So he's mad about my outside leg, trying to hold the outside shape of my circle. So I'm gonna push that hip around. When he goes to lean on it, I'm gonna tell him you can't lean on that shoulder, right? You can't lean on that leg. So when I come across here, we'll go straight. You see how he speeds up right there? Loses his balance a little bit on that straightaway. Up and around over his hips. Applying my outside leg, running my outside leg. Straight between my hands. There he got lost. So that's really common because I have no hip control. If I were to really try spurring the crap out of him with my right leg to keep him going, then what would happen is he'd get mad at my foot and he'd kick out. So that's gonna happen. He's just gotta do more of these straightaways, more of these straight lines, figuring it out. Very good. Now that wasn't perfectly straight to the arena, whoa, perfectly straight to the arena, but it was straight to something. So I didn't get turned around that corner exactly how I wanted to get turned, but I realized that I've got my hands and feet in a line, so I had to ride straight to something. So for me, that was straight to the edge of this door is where I was headed right there. The big thing about that, I've got my eyes up, I'm planning ahead for my horse so he can kind of have somewhere in mind that we're going. Turn him around. Up into our lope, onto our straight line. Good. Corner, up and around our hip. See him slow, there it is, right? There's the outside spur. So I said, see him slow down. I was in the process of saying, see him slow down. So I had to kick him a little bit. And he got mad about my outside foot. It's not that he wants to go slow. It's that he wants to come up off that foot and get mad about it. So I've got to make sure I come back around here, we'll address that issue. So here he's gonna suck back. Good boy, much better. Gotta have a horse that'll stay open. There, I had to work a little bit to hold that straight line. Turn over his hips here. Tight turn, there's my hole, right? So that's where he should have come up underneath himself and drove up. He quit loping behind for that split second because that's hard work. That's a hard ask right there. So I gotta have a horse that'll keep that back end coming up underneath of him. See how I'm giving him his head? Not worried about speed right here. Worried about a horse that'll stay between my feet. In fact, you hear me pushing him most of the time. I'm not holding him back ever, but I am driving him up all the time. So I want a horse that around those corners will realize he's gotta drive up more. He's gotta accelerate more. Right there, he's not gonna make that corner. He dies out. Whoa. Very good, good stop. Back up, turn, brushing that leg. Lope up, good lope off. So I like that he took that lope, but he had to pick his head up to do it. So I know I'm gonna have to fix that later on. Gonna lope it around here, we'll go straight. Pull outside rein, inside hand up, holding my lead, outside leg on. Good, up and around the corner. Straight again. Whoa. I think a lot of people get in trouble here because they try to go slow. You hear me driving this horse up. You see me pushing him on all the time. All the time pushing him on. I'm never worried about this horse going slow. Oh, missed it. Let's shut that down. So I know he can do better than that. We'll shut that down. We'll try it again. So here, he's not moving his feet. Got a shape. That's when I'll tap that outside foot. If he's not moving, have a shape right there. There. Hey, missed my lead. There. Good. There's my hole. So that's what every horse is going to do when you apply pressure off that outside foot. That's why when I go to lope off, you see me kick my inside leg. He's going to kick out right there on the inside. There. Because that kicks his hip to the inside for me. So my outside leg makes the shape, makes the wall. My inside leg does most of the driving up right here. Hey. So that's kind of what we want to try to do, is use our outside foot to make a wall and our inside leg to keep him driving up. So if I were to attack him with my outside foot, he's gonna kick out at my foot a lot. Use that inside leg to keep him moving up. Straight. Good. Corner. Better. Better. Whoa. Good boy. Much better. The big thing about that, what we're doing, we're just giving this horse lots of opportunities to try, okay? I have a lot more horse, based on the last videos that you guys have seen, I have a lot more horse on my circles than it seems right now, but I've got to back up a little bit. I can't expect to teach him a straight line and have everything that I had on the circle, okay? I have a lot more control, dropping his neck in, asking for his face, but I'm not gonna make that straight line really hard right now. I would much rather make that straight line super easy, minus the fact that you gotta stay between my feet, which is kind of a new project for him because he used to keep it on the circle and he just had to guide between my hands. So this is kind of the shift between, now it's not so much like follow your nose, but now follow my feet. So now when my foot comes on, you assume a shape underneath of me and we move off that pressure on your sides. That is one of the trickiest things to teach a horse. So it's something that I'm just gonna turn loose and let him gallop around. I'm just gonna keep him driving forward. That avoids a lot of the big issues on these straightaways where I don't have problems about him trying to buck me off because he's so busy thinking about loping. So rather than thinking about getting super frisky on this line, he's got a big job ahead of him and we gotta drive up and keep loping the whole way. Okay, so I purposely make this horse look a lot less broke than he is because I need this job to be a lot easier than it was when I was on the circle. Remember, straight lines are the reward for good circles. They're much harder than circling, okay? Maintaining a straight line in good shape is much harder than doing a circle. So I always assume that my straight line is gonna look like half of what my circle does, okay? If you follow along, you watch a video of Peanut and all those horses, they can look pretty good on a circle. You turn loose and that head comes, they come way up undone and they just don't look good, okay? Take your horse, start on circles, and then add straight lines later. Okay, so we want to have a horse that can accept those straight lines. It's tricky to begin with. Just ride them forward, keep yourself safe. Okay, that's it for this week's video, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to our Patreon supporters. We make new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. Can't do it without you guys. And I will see you in the next video.